Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Now, before you continue, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you check out other videos that are on this channel, including the playlists. Make sure you check out all the links in the description for this video and for the other videos that are posted for the artist interviews. Make sure that you stay updated. And let's get to 1,000 subscribers, and now you can proceed to the video.
I'm walking on that rainbow to the pot of gold. The young brother always working, hungry for more ascension, attention, ascension.
All right. Welcome to Unplugged, Season 2, Episode 11. It is me, Dave, the MC, and today I'm joined by a person with many hats, considering that I read the bio earlier and I was amazed. But to put it down to one thing, a music exec. She's been in the game since 2011, which I was happy by because the people who I interview mostly, I normally try to do it from like 2010 up to date, and like if you've been doing this long enough, you know what you're doing, and that's really dope to me. I have with me Camille Storm.
Hi.
Hey.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, stop me if you've had this before. Camille Storm sounds like a rapper name, or sounds like it just sounds dope. Like I don't know. Like what made you come up with Camille Storm?
I don't know. It was so random. Camille is my Catholic confirmation name. So I got that when I was like 11, 12. And back then on Facebook, people used to join with like so many fake names and just used to like, it was really corny. But, you know, I had a South African friend and I saw someone like post on his Facebook wall, those days, someone called something Storm.
Yeah.
That person's profile, and they had like relatives called Storm. So I asked my friend, like, is this a real name in South Africa? Like, is this a real surname? And he was like, yeah, Storm is actually like a real South African name. So I was like, I want this. So I just changed my name on Facebook to Storm, and since then it just stuck. I think it wasn't supposed to be anything serious, but I think it just stuck from then.
Yeah, mine was like, what was mine? David Monte Carlo or some shit like that.
Not bad.
Those must have grown up with Facebook. No. But yeah, like it sounds like you'd be a rapper. If people didn't know what you were doing, they'd assume like you were a rapper, like with that kind of name.
Yeah, because I at some point I was very skeptical. I wanted to change it. I was really like, I felt like, oh, this is something I just had when I was in high school. I feel like this is something that needs to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
But I also didn't really like ever identify with my real like government name. I never identified with that. Some Storm that just stood out, and
yeah,
you know, it was like, why not? Like, why not just use this name that makes you stand out, and you know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, like I read like, because we've been speaking on email, and I read the bio. You've been doing this since 2011, which pretty much makes you a vet, like in terms of being active in the Kenyan music scene, but you're also involved in other countries' music scenes. So like, talk to me about, like, as soon as you got in, like, is there something specific you had wanted to achieve, or were you just like, you wanted to cover what was going on and, you know, just cover the scene in general?
When I got started, I didn't really even think of it like I was going to end up in the music, like working in the music business per se. I didn't for me, I just had a blog. I just loved music. I just loved writing, and I started a music blog, and that was that. I didn't think the music blog would end up being popular or actually, paving the way to me becoming now like an international journalist. So for me, even the music stuff just kind of came in, kind of like people were forcing me to get into it. I just thought of myself as a journalist for a long time. But I met people like Buddha Blaze, and a couple of other people who kind of pushed me towards the music business side because they felt like I had that talent. So yeah, thank you to them, because I'm glad I did it. So I was kind of everything I did, and that's why my bio is kind of all over the place, is because I was discovering myself and kind of deciding, kind of trying to figure out what do I want to do within this business. So that's why I was a journalist, which I still am, and I love to write. That's like a whole separate thing. But I did dabble in events. I did dabble in, PR, still do PR. And now I'm doing music distribution. So, at the end of the day, I'm just a music exec, because I feel like dabbling in all those different like facets of the music industry has given me a lot of knowledge at the end of the day. So I think it makes me a better decision maker at this point in my life.
Had you ever tampered with like wanting to be an actual artist, or you just thought it would be cooler to like cover guys who are actually doing the music?
I did when I was younger, though. When I was like 11, 12, I used to tell my parents, I want to be a musician. I just had this deep love for music. I used to kind of force them to pay for piano classes and stuff. I just wanted to know about music and stuff.
Same.
Yes, but they never took me seriously. And I used to sing too, but I lost my voice at some point. I don't know what happened, but I think at the back of my mind, I always felt like I love music, but this is not my way to contribute into the music industry. So I had to kind of figure out how I was going to contribute in the music industry, so it's basically by being a tastemaker, a curator, an exec. That's how I contribute. So, and I love it.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Like, so talk to me about Camille and Co. and C&C Distro. Like, you of course started as a journalist, and then you you shouldn't really say that you were pushed into it. Like, yeah, but you ended up loving it anyway. So, talk to me about the origins of that. Like, what made you want to like get into music distribution, help artists distribute their music on platforms? Like, how did that come about?
Well, if I start with Camille and Co., that one was like, that was a purely like business decision in a way. Okay, but also I had been writing for a while, and as I was getting to know more people in the industry and meet more artists and stuff, also meet artists outside of Kenya, I realized that there was a gap in terms of PR. There aren't a lot of PR agencies in Kenya. I think I only know Anyiko and some other agency. I don't remember their name, but at that time anyways, I just felt like there was a gap. And I mean, it was purely a business decision, because I had all these connections that wanted PR in Kenya and were willing to pay for it, and there was nobody they could kind of trust to do it for them. So that's why I started Camille and Co. It was more of like a PR agency, and then it was also kind of like an umbrella company, because I felt like I want to start working with artists like one-on-one, in a way, kind of like developing artists and kind of starting to focus my energy on particular artists and growing their brands and stuff. So that's why I kind of formed Camille and Co. just to kind of have somewhere to start in terms of working with artists and stuff like that. And then the distribution stuff came out of nowhere. It was just, I know, it sounds like I'm saying these things come out of nowhere, but it's like, literally, it's like I'm always pushed into doing these things in a way. They come out of necessity in a way.
They end up working though.
Yeah, it's like, but distribution, I have been working. Another thing that I do is I curate for Apple Music. I
Yeah.
have been doing it for about 2.5 years. So I have a really good relationship with them. And they've really been trying to get into East Africa more, but there's a lot of education that needs to be done. And, you know, Apple Music just expanded to Tanzania like this year. So there's a lot like they need to do like groundwork. I mean, in terms of education and just getting artists to work more actively with them. So that was part of my work. But it reached a point where I felt like this is too much. Like I'm one person, I can't handle the whole of East Africa.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do all of this. This takes a whole kind of, either you contract me to do this.
Like a machine behind
Exactly. I need like manpower. I need help.
it.
So it reached a point where, and also there's a lot of artists, you know, Kenyan, Nigerian, whatever, South African, who
Yeah.
are always reaching out to me for playlists and stuff like that. And, you know, over the years, I've also, you know, gotten a lot of connections with a lot of other streaming platforms, Spotify, Deezer, and all this. So I have all these connections.
Yeah, if you could tell Spotify to, like, you know, get into the African market, that would be really appreciated.
Oh, man, we're all trying. It's tough. The corruption very slow, but it will come. It will come. They have plans for that. So yeah, so I have all these artists that I'm working with who want to get all this promotion on streaming platforms. Then I have a streaming platform who wants to work with me to get into certain markets and kind of find out, you know, the best music and the best artists to look out for and stuff like that. So I'm a middleman.
Mhm.
It was like I have too much on my plate.
Yeah.
I can't be everywhere working with everyone.
Mhm.
So that's why the distribution came in, because it was like, if I'm gonna do this,
Yeah.
I need to get my cut.
Okay.
So let me be the content provider to the streaming platform, you know, give them what they want, which is the content, and then let me get the artists promo on the platforms.
Yeah.
And then I get my cut. So it was very like, it just kind of was like a light bulb moment, like, whew, how comes I've not thought about this? And when I started it, like everything just moved very fast, because I think it was due, you know, it was bound to happen. So
There's no doing things for free.
yes,
That does not work. That does
No.
not work. It does not work. So, like, paint a picture for me. Like, how many artists are, like, are you connected to at the moment? Like, and especially the ones like on the local scene, because I'm sure that there's some guys don't know about or are slowly discovering. Just paint a picture for me, like, in terms of that.
On the local scene, I am working with a couple of artists at the moment.
Mm.
So I've been working since March. I've been working with Maya Amolo.
Dope.
Like
Dope.
Yeah, she's like an R&B soul singer.
Mm.
So we dropped our EP in July. We're working on a new one. We're working on just rolling out, you know, visuals and stuff right now. She's really cool. She's doing really well, especially outside of Kenya. So I'm kind of trying to get her more promo in Kenya.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, people are listening to her music, which I love.
Yeah.
And I'm also working with Chris Kaiga. I'm working with Kahush. I've been working with Chris Kaiga since last year.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm beginning to work with him a bit more seriously. Kapush, trying to like open up his, you know, his vision a little bit, because he's doing so well, but I feel like he could do a lot more, you know, a lot better. Him and Chris Kaiga, you know. I'm also working with Willie Paul, which was a very unexpected partnership for me, but I think it was meant to be, because, you know, he's dedicated, and, you know, not what I would have expected to be working with, because I'm very like new wave, young kids, you know, pop, you know, very alternative kind of stuff, but I love working with him. So yeah, we're working on his new album, which is coming up. I'm also working with I think I'm forgetting some people. I work with the Black Market Africa guys. I don't know if you know them, but I
do.
Yeah, just, you know, yeah, I'm kind of, when it comes to, I'm working with Kevin Granz, I'm working with it's like I can't keep up. Like, but with Kenya, I'm definitely trying to, um, because I've always been a very curated person.
Yeah.
I don't just want to sign everyone just because, this is my home, and like I still want to make sure that my brand is connected to um, artists that put out like really good stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of taking my time, like signing them and kind of working with them closely to develop them and stuff like that. So yeah, but those are,
It's still a good list though. That's still a very good list.
and Boutros, I just signed Boutros, like
Mm,
ADF family,
mm,
those guys.
mm.
So yeah, very exciting.
All right. What about the other music scenes in Africa? Like, which countries are you connected with?
So I'm very connected with Nigeria
Mhm.
and Ghana. Uh, Also Sierra Leone. I have one artist in Sierra Leone, one artist in
Mhm.
Cameroon. Yeah,
But it starts like that. Like you have to start with
yeah.
one, and then
The truth is, I've never ever limited myself. I
mm,
used to only like mostly work with Kenyan artists. That was
yeah.
like up till 2018
Mhm.
or 2017, and I was not inspired, and I saw myself, and I was like, I won't limit myself to this market because
Yeah.
my talent, like, they go across the board. I can work with any artist as long as I roll with you and you roll with me and we have mutual respect and I love your music. I can work with anyone from anywhere. They can even be American, whatever.
Mm.
But so that's when I kind of started, meeting more Nigerian artists and reaching out and going to Nigeria, and they embraced me and I embraced them, and
Yeah.
they're blowing up and all that, Africa to the world, and they're kind of like at the forefront of that in a way. So it's just been very exciting, kind of also learning from their scene and seeing what they do and seeing the things that we could do here as well, like stuff like that. It's kind of like, but their scene is completely different from ours in a way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but I like being in the middle, but
Mm.
in Nigeria, I'm working with so many artists, man. Like I feel like I need where's my book? Like I need to like
Too many to name.
read them out for you. But I've worked with people like Maven Records, who
Mhm.
people know. I did some interview with Rema, working with them still
Mhm.
on other stuff with their other artists. I've worked with a lot of artists. Myro-kun, done PR
Put it to a number.
a number.
Mm. 10,
that
10, 15,
might
20.
that might be even okay. I would say working seriously in terms of
Mhm.
seriously, I would say around maybe 15 to 20.
That's pretty good.
But then on top of that, there is a whole other pool of
Mm.
artists who I'm working with, like here and there,
Mhm.
you know. So yeah, but I would say 15, around 15 artists right now from Nigeria that I'm like taking, kind of like working, whether it's PR or it's distribution or
Mhm.
basically working together. Yeah, and Ghana too.
That's great. So you mentioned something about working exclusively with the Kenyan scene up to like 2017, 2018. Um, Give me your perspective or opinion on where you think the scene is right now in terms of its potential, and how far do you think we can take this? Because I always bring up a conversation that I had with an artist, and we came to the conclusion that there's kind of like a gap, because there's the older generation, the guys before 2010. Then between 2010 and now, there's a split somewhere in the middle where these guys have been doing it more than 5 years, who kind of are like the big brothers and sisters of the guys who are now coming up now, the Kahushes, or uh, like anyone who's doing something different, like in terms of sound. There's like, do you see it that way, or do you see like, it's all from 2010, it's like all just evolving at once? Like,
No, it's definitely not evolving at once.
mhm,
But one thing about the Kenya, I think we're definitely in a transition period of some sort.
yeah,
But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of the OGs who are still there, and
yeah,
those OGs also have the OG execs who work
mhm,
with them to get them where they are.
yeah,
But it's like those guys, like it's like the music industry as a whole, like
mm,
worldwide,
mm,
has changed and has evolved.
yeah,
And I feel like a lot of those OGs and those OG executives have not like gotten with the times in a way,
mm,
because they're the ones who should have been kind of pioneering us evolving to the next level. And I'm not saying they didn't do anything, but it's like there's a lot that like even now I'm educating some of the people who mentored me.
yeah,
And I'm telling them, no, but you need to do this, you know, but it's
yeah,
like they're so used to this way of doing things for like such a long time that it's like we're kind of being left behind by the rest
mm,
of the world, or you know what I mean? And that goes for a lot of places in Africa, but it's
yeah,
like so much is changing right now, you know. So in terms of sound, I really think, okay, the good thing with Kenya is like we're very diverse. We like R&B, we like hip hop,
yeah,
you know, we still like the local sounds, genge tone, genge, whatever.
mm,
We're kind of all over the place. We wouldn't say like we have one united sound like the way they have Afrobeats or they have,
yeah.
uh, you know, Amapiano or something. You know, we have a lot.
Do you think the diversity is a good thing, or do you think that we should have like our own, like not necessarily maybe one sound, but our own like unique sound that, you know, there's Afrobeats, there's, you know, like other genres
You
that
know,
stand on their own.
I think it's a good thing that we're diverse.
Mm,
I think that means there's space for any artist to succeed,
yeah.
you know, but also that
Mm,
also gives space for us as Kenyans to consume a lot more content from outside than
mm,
our own, because since we
yeah.
consume everything,
Yeah.
we love hip hop, we love Afrobeats, we love R&B, we'll consume everyone's music and we might
Mm,
not like put our music at the forefront, as opposed to if we have our own sound and we're
mm,
always listening to our own people, then it's kind of like, you know, so now our Kenyan artists are kind of competing with everyone else, you
yeah.
know, which to some extent, that's why I liked Gengetone, because Gengetone just like targeted this particular group of people, and
Mm,
it just ended up kind of they only consume, like people consume, those people consume Gengetone, like
yeah.
immediately the song comes out, they're with it. And that's not the sound for everyone in Kenya, I know,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
I was glad that it became so popular in a way that helped, you know, to kind of give that illusion of we have our own sound.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's like Kenya is also very classist. So it's like one sound can't just like not everyone is gonna fuck with the same sound.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can blur
No,
that
you
out.
can. No, you can
Not everyone
cuss. You can cuss on this platform. Don't worry
the
about it.
show.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, but not everyone is gonna fuck with the same sound,
Yeah.
as opposed to somewhere like Nigeria,
Yeah.
from the billionaire to
Mm,
the local man in Lagos, they're all gonna
yeah.
listen to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You know, if there's a new Afrobeats track that's hot, all gonna listen to it. It's
Mm,
not about, you know, anything to do with class or where you were raised or blah blah blah. So it's Kenya is very difficult to navigate, but I think for me, like it's a conversation I've had with so many people, and it's like
yeah.
reached a point where we just kind of have to let things play out.
Mm,
But I'm focused more on trying to educate artists and
yeah.
also educate kind of also we need more music execs, we need more music industry professionals in Kenya, because
People who
artists
actually know
actually
what they're
are,
doing. People who
exactly,
actually. Yeah.
it's not just about getting your friend to manage you, you know, it's
Mm,
like sometimes you actually need a manager who knows
yeah.
everything that's going on in the music industry. They actually understand the music business. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I feel like that's lacking a lot And those are things that are holding us back in a way. And I'm just trying to like educate myself as I educate others. And it starts from individuals in a way, and also creating our own structures. So that's kind of like where also the idea for C&C Distro came through, because I know the East African landscape better than an international or foreign distributor would. So even if they come here, they might not know how to market this music as good as I would, because I know how Kenyans consume music best. So it's like, I would rather we build our own structures, because the other thing is you need money to grow. So when you start making, we need to like C&C Distro or having proper PR, proper digital rollouts would help an artist make twice or thrice the revenue they've been making. You know what I mean? Kenyans don't like to spend money to make money, but trying to change that. So if they're making more money, they can do that. If they're making more money, they can create their own structure. They can create more labels. They can develop more artists. They can pay for, just better quality stuff, better quality videos, better quality, engineers, better quality rollouts, all that stuff.
Actually, sorry to cut you off, but in short, like, you have to spend money to make money, and you have to make sure you pay people to be a professional. Like, the one thing that sometimes gets me annoyed is that people are not professional. Even in my own experiences, when I used to rap, it was that's for after this conversation. But I used to do the thing, but I'm focused on doing interviewing people now. It pays to be professional, I think, because that's the only way you're able to advance not only your career, but you're able to advance someone else's career, the person that you're paying. Like, producers can't feed themselves off exposure. Like, creatives can't feed themselves off exposure. Even even you, when you said you need to get a cut of what's going on, it's true, because how else do you advance yourself? How else do you feed yourself? Exposure doesn't pay bills.
And it's something I go through with. So even the artists that I'm trying to sign right now, a lot of Kenyan artists, it's always a bargain, because they're so unexposed to the new ways that the industry is moving, that you have to convince them of the value of the services that you're bringing. So
do you offer mentorship to the artists?
That's A&R, which is A&R is pretty much talent development. So that's part of my services. So you kind of have to go on this back and forth where you convince them, I can do this and this and this for you. And for me at this point in my career, if you don't know what I do, don't even talk to me, because it's very you know what I mean? But it's with I have to be so patient, because I understand that they're still in a different place. Where
that's why I mentioned that middle child thing. We're coming from a generation where there's even A&Ring for guys like our generation, it didn't happen. There was no teaching, there was no real teaching. So us, we were just left to our own devices, and then people are now starting to come up who are teaching us and teaching the new guys how business is done and everything.
But we definitely need people who understand the music business today, because there are people who understood it 10 years ago, 20 years ago, the people who mentored me, but more people who understand how it works today, and always keeping up with the changes, so that we can teach everyone, so we can keep up with the world, because our landscape is so different It's like people are still just selling Skeezer tunes and focusing on YouTube views, and there's so much more money to be made. Like, you know, and for some reason they always think you want to steal their money. It's like always a bargain. You know, if I tell you I want 20% for all the services I'm gonna give you,
why should I give you 20% when I can have 100% to myself?
and it's like, don't you understand that these services are gonna help you make thrice what you've been making? You know, so at the end of the day, 20% will be nothing. You know, but I get it, and I have to like be very patient. You know, with East African artists, because we have a lot to learn, and we have to. I mean, yeah, we'll get there though.
yeah, I'm sure we'll get there eventually. And you've had success, like, you know, Chris Kaiga, Kahush. Those guys are popping off, so it's only up from here. So that'll be very interesting to watch. So last two questions. Who do you listen to when you're not working, or if you're working?
Who do I listen to when I'm not working? I listen to a lot of 90s R&B. Slow jams. Yeah, that's actually like where I am when I'm just trying to chill. And
what about like in your creative space?
In my creative space, I listen to what I'm working with, actually, because I want to be inspired by what I'm working with. You know, so if I'm working on a particular artist, I'll probably be jamming their music like a lot, so that I'm also in that mode of like, let's get this, you know, I want to push this stuff. And so I mean, I'm all over the place when it comes to music, but it's either I'm listening to 90s jams, slow jams, or maybe sometimes I listen to like some techno. That's when I'm winding down, like very far away from thinking about, because on a normal day I'm listening to African music. So when I'm working African music, that's like, sometimes I actually have to remind myself that there's more music than African music, because now African music is my work. It's not just enjoyment. So
it's still very, that's very dope. Then lastly, you as a music exec, what do you see your role being in the next, let's say, decade or so? Do you see your role expanding? Do you see you still doing the same thing in terms of helping to push artists and, you know, help them realize their potential, their dreams, their career? Or do you see yourself maybe moving into another part of being a music exec, or maybe behind the scenes, like?
Well, I am behind the scenes, but
more behind the scenes in terms of like, people know Camille and Co. People know C&C Distro, but like, you have now like a giant maybe machine or team behind you, like, that's doing the work, and you're still doing your thing, like, you know, kind of more secluded, I guess.
That's the plan. I mean, I think at this point, I'm 24 now, so by the time I'm like 34, I don't know. I mean, I call myself a music executive now, but by that point I will be a full-fledged music executive, you know, hopefully, in terms of just cutting lucrative deals for artists, you know, for brands and stuff like that. I really want to be just part of the money talk at that point. And obviously I will have the machine set up, and that's what I'm trying to build right now, to reach the point where, you know, I have a whole big team, and all I have to do is sign things. If I do want to focus, like, I will have time to actually focus on, because I'll always have a passion for A&R and developing artists and stuff like that. So
what about actually hold on, what about the record label?
It is still a record label, but at that point, what I'm trying to build is definitely to reach the point where C&C puts in money, gets deals, puts in money to develop artists, and a lot of money, so that it reaches a point where our roster of artists has some of the best and most successful artists out of Africa. Like that's the point we're trying to reach.
Yeah.
You know, where it's actually gonna be like a fully functioning label without, even if we do cut deals with bigger labels, bigger corporations, you know, at that point C&C will still be, you know, its own base. And we'll be taking care of our own artists. So it's a lot to build, and I haven't actually signed one artist fully. I think I've signed one artist to my label fully. I won't mention who it is yet.
It's okay. We'll be waiting. We'll be waiting to see.
But yeah, it's just like even 5 years from now, you know, that's the point we're trying to reach, where we're putting money into artists. We're able to put in our own money into artists, and we know we're gonna make it back because you know we know we're putting in the work to properly develop those artists and make them not just successful artists but successful brands, you know. So
the keyword being brand.
Yeah, that's how you make money from all facets, you know, when you're a brand.
That's very dope. So yeah, thank you for first of all agreeing to this. I know I'm pretty sure your schedule is like mad. So for you to take time to do this, I appreciate it. I started this this series because I had made a few friends in the Kenyan music scene. So I was like, why not sit down with my friends and ask them, you know, about their careers and like what they plan to do in the future. And here we are. Like, I always try to speak to artists, to creatives, anyone who is involved in the Kenyan music scene and trying to make it better, like for everyone, because if we don't make it better, then there's not going to be an industry. So I thank you for doing this. This is really interesting.
I feel like we can definitely have a longer chat later, maybe soon.
Yeah.
Maybe in season.
Yeah, sure.
So, because you interview a lot of people, and I interview people too. So I know, like when you interview, you learn a lot. So, you know, maybe you can tell me what other people have been thinking.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So
and whatnot. So yeah. It was lovely.
Yeah, I look forward to that conversation in the future. So guys, make sure that you follow Camille and Co on Instagram. I'll leave all links below. And C&C Distro. And okay, which artist is releasing a project anytime soon so that they can go like check that out?
Well, today at midnight, one of my Nigerian hip hop artists called Veen, at Abstract Veen, he's dropping his tape, which is sick. I know a lot of hip hop lovers will love it. And then this Friday, we're releasing Willie Paul's new single. Well, it's already out, but now it's going to be available in all stores. So look out for that too. There's a lot, you know, just keep up with Camille and Co. Follow us and just stay tuned and you'll see what we're up to.
Yeah, and also follow Camille Storm, but be nice. Be nice to people.
Okay.
All right, guys. No, like, yo, like, you know, you can get some Instagram requests and be like,
sorry. I'm a very busy person. I don't have time for small talk. I'll be nice.
All right, thank you for doing this. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Till the next episode. Peace.
Bye.
I'm walking on that rainbow to the pot of gold. The young brother always working, hungry for more ascension.